We're about to see 5 red lights, and when they extinguish, we'll be underway for 44 laps of racing here at the classic Spa-Francorchamps. Here they come. I saw someone rolling slightly forwards on the starting line, and it's a slow start for Maggio. Maggio gets off the line really poorly there, I'm afraid, and that means that Carlos Martin has gone to the lead. There's Mike Quint on the exit of the pits, waiting to join the pack. Looks like it's Carlos Martin leading from Jarl Tyen and Loic Meunier. Loic Meunier now side by side with Jarl Tyen for that second place there, around the outside into Lecomte, and he gets it done. Good move from Loic Meunier on the opening lap of the race, and the two THRs are now right together as Alex Lahoud goes side by side with Dylan Fisher in the mix, back in the pack and down towards the Brussels hairpin, the Bruxelles hairpin as it's called. So we're watching Maggio now coming up through Eau Rouge Radion, and this is where the yellow flags showed. So he's behind Tomasz Vok. In the background this car's getting, and then he teleports back to the grid. What is going on here? Here is Aaron Vasquez. So he's had contact with someone at the first corner going on to the second lap of the race. Is he going to run into the back of the car in front of him? Lalu and Fletcher side by side. Oh! And then a spin. And is that Xavi Rose? Yep, so Rose has had a spin, and then the rest of the pack checking up has caused Aaron Vasquez to lose his front wing. I don't think Merling was involved in this unless... And Lalu's lost his wing as well, so that's crucial for the Super Venturi driver, who has also lost his front wing and will have to pit at the end of this lap. Now here's what happened to Merling. They're going 3 wide. Now this is also a result of that check-up, that chain reaction that we saw. Oh my goodness, and Vasquez has run straight into him there. A huge crash.
Tyne's pitting for dries, so everybody's getting the call up now.
So the dry line has appeared. I thought this was way too early. As Meunier comes in, and was that Stevens following him as well? It was, and Maciej Winnick. So pretty much all of the front runners coming in, except for Carlos Martin, who has stayed out once again. Lahoud, I think, has jumped Maciej Winnick in all of this. That's impressive from Alex Lahoud. Carlos Martin now comes in from the race lead, and Vok comes in from third. So Yannis Volburn will lead the race for Edge Esports. It's easier to pass stationary cars. He does jump Carlos. Loic Meunier, by going onto the slick tyres 1 lap sooner, has jumped through past Carlos Martin and Dylan Fisher. Side by side with Hygo Poom, and it looks as if Shimon Frelick is involved as well. A little bit of a touch with Frelick, as the two AKA Hero cars go side by side with the TOP. Frelick nearly runs him out of road, and they just about manage to get through in one piece. Oscar Soltero now up the inside, and he won't get the dry line that he would have needed, but Shimon Frelick, Dylan Fisher is pushed wide once again and holds on to that inside line. Soltero gets run out of road. That would be an illegal overtake if he made it stick. Does make it stick, as we watch the current battle for the lead between Volburn and Ruhl, but I think they will both peel into the pits now as they do. But Mark Schluter has stayed out and will take the race lead.
As Milnek clears Alex Lahoud for what is now 5th position down the Kemmel Straight then.
As into the pits now comes Schluter, so Meunier will once again lead as you see Stefan Ruhl attacking Volburn and going through, and at the same time Tomasz Vok has got past Jarl Tyen, I think. Very good stuff from Tomasz Vok.
Here's a replay of Vac picking off Jarl Tyen. It wouldn't surprise me that THR is running a little bit more rear wing. There's just enough space to stick it on the racing line around the outside. And you can see Chris Shepherd now fancies a go at Tyen 2 as we're seeing yellow flags out there. I think Milnek is in trouble. But here's Milnek then. Does he just have a spin into Stavilo, dip it into the gravel? A little bit too much speed. The rear goes round before the front, and Milnek was just pushing that a little bit too hard.
Yeah, that was a horrible place for Maciej Winnick to spin, and he was lucky to get that thing pointed in the right direction again. Just two. That's a huge impact for Daniel Scott. That would have hurt.
For Chris Shepherd on the soft, he wasn't planning to stay long on this stint anyway, and now he's got a brilliant run on the THR. Tyen tries to get back to the racing line, but the DRS is wide open. Little bit of contact there. Chris Shepherd wasn't quite as ahead as I think he'd assumed he would be by the time he got to the corner.
I hate to say it, as Stefan Ruhl comes around the outside, gets on the grass, little twitch, goes off the road and rejoins, and he's gonna, oh my goodness, that was close with Shimon Frelick there. I thought he was gonna rejoin.
Martin takes the lead.
And yes, and Carlos Martin has taken the lead. Now that's come completely out of the blue. Now here's what happened. Oh, and it was a mistake from Meunier. I knew it must have been. It was not a deliberate incident for Loic Meunier. He simply made a mistake into turn 1. But Loic Meunier has now gone back through. So if your theory holds...
Stevens!
Tom Stevens goes off. Tom Stevens goes on the grass and had a huge crash. Stevens will be out of the race. He had so much speed that he ended up nearly going 3 wide with them into Lecombe, but then as he tried to make the move, it all went wrong. Here we go on board with Tom Stevens. Whoa, he touches the back of Martin. Now I think he will say that Martin moved over too late. I don't know if Martin will see it the same way. There was definitely room for Stevens to go side by side with him. And this is Jukka-Pekka Lalu's retirement. So Lalu down into the Jackie X box. Oh, bonk. Into the barriers, loses his front wing.
So no luck for the Poles so far as here comes Jarl Tyne going around the outside of Simon Frelick.
Here's Frelic's move on Tyne. Now Tyne's a long way ahead, so did he make a mistake here as well? He did, and Shimon was able to dive up the inside. There was a little bit of contact, but I think that was fair.
Now it's a double toe as Tyne tries to get back past Simon Frelick, and he's going to drag Stefan Ruhl with him as well as the rain has re-emerged.
Stefan Ruhl now up 11 places, having passed Jarl Tyne.
Shepard is past Laho for P4 there. So Alex Laho has lost a place to his teammate Vac and to Chris Shepard now as well. Shepard is absolutely flying on those softs, but is everybody just going to be struggling to keep it on track now as the rain clearly falling a lot heavier than before?
It's definitely getting heavier. Look at Alex Laho now around the outside, but he gets onto the damp patch. Runs wide. Shimon Frelick is in the pits, presumably for intermediate tyres.
This is where it's going to be like driving on ice for everybody on the dry tyres there. And Frelick is going to try and just go clean up the inside of him through Pujon. He had a lot of confidence to pull that one off. Here's a replay of the fate that befell Xavi Ross as he's dipped it just like we saw Milnet, but with much higher speed and much more devastating consequences.
Cars coming into the pits in the background. Was that Soltero? Yep, Soltero pits.
All these front runners now hoping that the Inters all have to pit again. As here comes Laho. Oh, he almost has to come to a dead stop there, right behind Shepard down the straight. He just caught him way too early, but the DRS luckily enables Laho through into P4.
Here's Riot Kilk now. I noticed a brief yellow flag, and this is presumably why. Oh my goodness, gets a little bit of grass, a little bit of curb, into the wall. Oh, front left tyre gone.
Chris Shepard is starting to really lose pace here. So the softs, after 17 laps of driving, they're done, and in comes Chris Shepard for a fresh set of tyres here.
Jeffrey Fournier gets past Shimon Frelick up into 9th position. Oscar Soltero, who was the top driver on intermediate tyres, has retired from the race.
He tried to save it. Couldn't save it.
Wallop. Yeah, that'll do it. Alex Laho pits from what was 4th position, so that puts Tyne back up to the tail of Wok.
Here comes the move from Stefan Ruhl. Fairly straightforward around the outside with DRS, and Thomas Vac knew there wasn't any chance of fighting that one.
Now here's the mistake that Tyne made, runs right through the grass and will somehow rejoin facing the right direction. Whoa! Right in front of Stefan Ruhl, who takes evasive action. Tyne comes into the pits. Jarl Tyne now out of the pits in 8th position.
Moynier is struggling to keep the mediums alive after 21 laps. They are really starting to feel the pain here. Whereas, look at that massive twitch. And surely he's lost the lead there as he gets all over the curb through Paul Frere. And Martin is going to have a mega run through Blanchimont here into the bus stop chicane. Moynier immediately gets defensive here.
Watch him getting closer and closer. He'll use the push to pass. Does Meunier make a defensive move? He's too late to do so. Martin is going to go through into the race lead. And Loic does now come into the pits. Where will he be in relation to other cars? Will he have too much traffic on pit exit? Out onto the road he goes.
There's Laho.
And
there's
Laho.
Tyne.
And Tyne goes through. That's very important from Jarl Tyne.
He's going to make the move immediately, Caitlin. Look at this. DRS to the outside, and he sweeps through.
Martin goes on to medium tyres, which again will probably be able to go to the end from here. There is Meunier. So Meunier has passed Martin. He's jumped him, as have both Laho and Tyne. I think Alex Laho is genuinely fighting Meunier and Tyne here for the eventual race win. What do you think, Ed?
I think it's possible, but look at the run Moynier's got here with the DRS. He pulls to the outside. Tyne is trying to follow, but look at that, immediately tucking it behind. That was very smart from Alex Laho.
And Jarl Tyne, I think, will have a really good opportunity at getting past Alex Laho here. He'll bring Carlos Martin with him, as Martin will try to regain those positions that he lost by getting jumped in the pits. They're going to go, wow, and it's a double toe from Carlos Martin, who's going to go alongside Jarl Tyne into the corner. Tyne has the inside line. Does he make it? He's run wide. Tyne comes back at him. Martin runs off the road. And Geoffrey Fournier running those soft tyres, just pushing lap after lap. And coming into the pits now. So Fournier does pit. And now look at Carlos Martin trying to line up Jarl Tyne up through Radion, up over the top. And now down the straight, he will open that DRS. He will use any push to pass that he feels necessary, and he will go through into third position in the race.
As it started raining again with 11 laps to go. So could this be the saviour? Is this exactly what Mark Schluter was waiting for? Heiko Pum in the pits, and so is Dylan Fisher. So AKA Hero have seen the rain falling, and they said, so let's roll the dice here. Let's go for the Inters before anybody else does.
Walburn, Fletcher, Butcher and Quint all doing the same thing, but Loic Meunier is about to get him here on the Exeter Blanchimont down towards the bus stop. He can't afford to waste any time. He's going to go around the outside. They're going to touch just a little bit. Meunier gets away with it.
They're both going in.
Come into the pits. Wow, that was brave. Meunier chopping right across the front of Mark Schluter, nearly getting spun around. Thomas Vock and Stefan Ruhl stay out. They are now the battle for the lead. Whoa, that's close in the pits. And that was Schluter touching wheels with Tyne as Tyne comes into his box. I don't think there'll be any damage there, but that would have held up
Full
Tyne.
wets for Martin. Full wets for Carlos Martin.
Goodness me, I wasn't expecting that from slick straight to the full wets. And Fournier, of course, on those softs, will be ruining this weather. He really needed to push from here until the end of the race. Twitching about here, he will have to make his pit stop. Loic Meunier is going to get him before then. Goes through into Blanchimont. That was tense. That was close stuff. Whoa, Fournier spinning up the tyres on his way into the pits. Ruhl and Wook, I think, have also come into the pits. So that means Meunier once again leads this race from Mark Schluter, who has elevated himself up into contention for this race just by staying out super, super long in that middle stint.
It was Vock getting past Chris Shepherd, I think.
So here's Geoffrey Fournier. And there's the mistake from Shepherd. Little bit of a kick of oversteer.
Did well to keep that out of the wall, did Chris? Started raining again. Oh, good news for Carlos.
Oh my goodness.
It has this come too late because Tyne's right on the back of him.
And look at Tyne. So Tyne is side by side now with Martin and does go through. And this is Janus Walburn. And we think this is the cause of the yellow flag a minute ago. Whoa! Oh, he's hit the wall. And that's unfortunate for Walburn. And now you see the run that Stein Hangraf gets. Butcher defends the inside line. Hangraf will go alongside him. He gets the run, but he didn't quite have enough speed to get fully. Oh, and there's a touch, and into the wall goes Butcher, and that is tragic for Butcher.
This shows on the Inters that it's so tricky just to stay out of trouble here, as we see over the curb. Yeah, he just sort of almost understeers Interstein at that point. But here comes Milnek round the outside of Frelick.
We have a new championship leader, and it will be Loic Meunier, the French driver, who comes out of the final corner and up to the line, crosses the line to win the race and take the lead of the championship. Great drive there from Loic Meunier, who has mastered the conditions. Fantastic strategy call from Mark Schluter to get himself involved in this one from way, way down after his spin in qualifying. Jarl Tyne P3, Carlos Martin P4, having started on pole. He faded just a little bit in the latter stages, partly due to going on wet tyres when the track was really calling for inters. Then it's Alex Laho, Stefan Ruhl, Thomas Vock, Geoffrey Fournier, Chris Shepherd and Mathieu Winnet. Great drive there for Chris Shepherd. Equals Red Archer's best result of the season so far. Shimon Frelick, only P11, the driver third in the championship, will not take second in the championship today. That's important. He could well have taken second in the championship with a good result here. Heiko Pum is 12th, then it's Dylan Fisher, Sergio Fletcher and Stein Hangraf.